lots of kids not here. And I had a very extravagant kids talk worked out. So adults, you'll just have to be the kids today, all right? I decided that I was going to dress for war today. All right? I'm just gonna pretend that I'm going into battle, all right? And I put on all the clothes that I think a person should wear as they go into battle. So I've got some nice comfy shoes, because I understand you have to do a lot of walking, right? You walk loads when you're going into battle. So I put on some nice comfy shoes, and I kind of thought, if I'm going into battle and there's an enemy there, wouldn't it be better if I just sort of went in and just sort of was friends with them? So I sort of thought I'd put on some nice clothes so that they would say, hey, that guy's really put in an effort. Let's be friends with him. And then I thought, sometimes when you go into battle, right, there's bullets coming at you. So I thought I would wear some nice bright socks so that they could see me and avoid hitting me. That way they know where I am. They don't accidentally shoot me. I know you have to have some sort of headgear, so I thought I'd put on a nice hat to head into battle. And then you're also supposed to have some sort of weapon. I don't really like guns, so I thought, well, I'll just take this plastic one instead. What do you guys think? Am I ready for battle? No. Ready to go into war? But doesn't that all make sense? Everything I just said? Isn't that one way you could go into battle? Well, you could, right? But what would happen? Yeah, there would be, it looks a little bit more like something from Blackadder than maybe Band of Brothers, right? Peaky Blinders, yeah. So, what you're saying is that if you go into battle, you need something better, right? Maybe for headgear, would this be more appropriate? Yes. Right? That'd be a good, yeah, that would do the trick. Do you think that would stop a bullet? It's actually made of something called Kevlar. And it wouldn't necessarily, a bullet could go through it, but it would at least help. You might live for a few seconds afterwards. All right, so you think that would be better than the flat cap? All right. Well, I also brought, what do you think? Do you think these would be better boots than my nice comfy shoes? Yeah? These things are nearly 40 years old. And they've actually been on my feet. But I can tell you, they are not comfortable. These are called jump boots. And this is what people who jump out of airplanes wear, so that when they land on the ground, you don't break your ankles and break your feet. But they are not comfortable to walk in. But you think these would be better? Okay, all right. Well, we'll put them there then. What else have I? Oh, I did bring some other clothes that might be more appropriate. Do you think these would be more appropriate to wear into battle? Why would these be better? Zeke? They'd be camouflage, so I could kind of hide, and that way, instead of showing them where I am with my bright green socks, they wouldn't know where I was by wearing these. So you think, so I got a pair of trousers with some pockets on the side. I could put like extra bullets and stuff in there, right? All right, well, you guys aren't being very helpful. I also did bring a real gun. Do you think that would be better? Yes. Which one do you think would do more damage? This one? I think you're probably right. So, what you're saying is I didn't come prepared for battle at all. But if I put on all this stuff, I'd be much better off. Yes. All right. Would it be all right if I just took this stuff with me? Like stuffed it in a bag and put it on my shoulder and went in anyway? No? So you're saying I have to actually put this stuff on? Yes. All right. Well, in order to put this stuff on, there's something else I have to do, right? Take this stuff off. All right. So everyone close your eyes for a minute. No one look. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to go that far. All right. Well, it sounds like you guys kind of have a clue on where we're going to go today. So what we're going to talk about is the fact that there are certain things and certain ways that we go into battle. And that battle is not, according to the Bible, against flesh and blood. We're not going to fight against physical enemies, but we are going to fight. And sometimes when we go into that battle, we convince ourselves that what I'm wearing and the way I'm living and the way I'm walking is perfectly fine. No one can get me. I've thought this through. This is a different way of approaching warfare. But I think we all agreed that just doesn't work. You've got to put on the right clothes if you're going to go into battle, if you're going to fight. And Paul is going to tell us that in order to do that, you need to put some things off and put some things on. In order to walk worthy of the calling to which we've been called, we need to change our minds. We need to start there. And then, let me back up. We need to change our minds, not because it's a privilege. If you're a woman here this morning, you probably have used that phrase, or at least thought it through. That's my prerogative. As a woman, I can change my mind. I know I used to say this is my favorite food. Don't like that anymore. This is now my favorite food. Unless it's chocolate, and then your mind never changes, right? Well, Paul doesn't want us to change our minds because it's our prerogative, because it's our privilege. It's because it's necessary if we're going to walk worthy. But what's the danger in changing your mind? Changing it back again, right? And that's what Paul's dealing with here. He knows that the Ephesians at one point had devoted themselves to Jesus. He had spent 3 years, if you go back to Acts, you'll see he spent 3 years teaching them, training them. And now it appears he's got to reteach them and convince them once again. They had changed their minds, and now it needed to be changed back again. So as we go through this passage, I'll probably allude to some of the things that I talked about this morning, if I remember to anyway. It's not an overly complicated passage. It's quite simple. You've probably heard it talked, if you've been in church for very long, talked about putting off and putting on. But there are some nuances and some things hidden in the passage that it's important for us to grasp. It's not just a matter of putting on the right clothes. It's why are we putting on those right clothes? If you were wearing camouflage, it was because you were a military person. Shortly after that time, it's sort of in the mid-90s, it became very, very popular to wear camouflage. And you could go into the normal shops, and there would be camouflage shirts and camouflage trousers and camouflage tracksuits and camouflage shoes. And pretty soon everyone was wearing camouflage. And I was a bit offended because I thought to myself, I worked hard. I earned my camouflage. I went through basic training and then through lots of horrible stuff to get that. And these guys, they just go up to the shops and put it on. I don't even know where I was going with that. At the end of the day, there's more to it than just putting on camouflage clothes. The reason that we put those clothes on is what's important. And that's what Paul is going to talk to us about today. So the first